So welcome back. I've got some new implements on my hand from Solis, the tractors that we've been testing out on the channel, and I'm really curious to try out some new implements, including a tiller. I have never actually owned a tractor PTO tiller in my life. I've always run discs, so this is going to be really interesting. In today's episode, we're going to take the electric tractor back to a back food plot that I have. This should be really interesting with a almost silent tractor running a tiller. I'm gonna hear sounds I've never heard before. So I've had the tractor charging today. Believe it or not, my building out here runs off of solar from my shop. So I'm running this tractor completely free. Not paying for electricity, not paying for fuel, obviously being electric. So it's pretty awesome being able to charge this up for my solar system and then go put it to use. Let's go see what this thing's capable of, especially with running this new tiller. So for starters, I need to get this kickstand up. This is for whenever you drop this off. This is going to keep it from digging in the ground. We don't need this support stand down right now while we're working. So if you're not familiar with a PTO tiller, let's take a look underneath. There's all of your working times right there. It runs right off of your PTO. We do have an adjustable plate back here. This is actually what flattens and levels out the ground. You want to adjust it to where it can ride on the dirt and kind of smooth everything out behind it. So we'll have to figure that out if we need to adjust this nut any. I'm up to 78% charged. I've used the tractor a little bit today as well. So we're not 100%. We got a long drive where we're going and we're going to till. I'm curious to see what the battery's down to when we get back. My goodness, that was interesting. So, well, I can say this did an excellent job. Look at that. The entire food plot done in just a few minutes. One pass. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's pretty neat. Now, I will say, if you buried that tiller too much, you could definitely feel it pull on the machine. I need to go run this tiller on the 24-horse diesel that I have and see if it's the same way. I'm really not sure. So you had to take it nice and slow, which is what you should do with a tiller anyways, but I could for sure tell that it was back there. All right, we're back home and at 59%. So for the people that are curious about that, we used 19% battery to do what was probably a 2-mile round trip. I went way back on a neighbor's right there on some property that I leased. So it's a long, long drive. I kind of sped across the field to show you how fast it go. That's not very battery efficient. And of course, running a PTO implement like this is probably about the heaviest drain I can put on the tractor. So to go get a food plot done, do some work, and still have enough battery to go back, spread seed, probably go back and pack it. If I started with 100% today, I'll let you take that for what it's worth. You could definitely go get, say, a single food plot planted in a day with an electric tractor. All right, so I picked up what's called a 5-way blend. You can get it all different kinds of blends here. And this is what we're gonna plant. It's really good for winter time. So in it is rye, wheat, oats, clover, and what's called rape. Now for this little plot that we're doing, I don't even really need this whole bag. I guess we're using the whole bag. Luckily I bought extra. Wow, that bag just fell to pieces. Let's make sure we get it all out of there. All right, I'll give you an idea of what that blend looks like. All right, I don't know if y'all seen when I was hooking up this spreader here, that hydraulic top links. First time I've ever had a tractor with one. Oh my goodness, I am in love with that hydraulic top link. Sadly, my John Deere doesn't come with rear remotes, and I'm not gonna add them to add an inexpensive top link, but I really wish I had it. This is a very hard piece of equipment to hook up. As far as trying to hold it up, get your top link in, and put a pin through, you need 3 sets of hands. Whenever you can just adjust that top link right in and out with the bump of a switch up here, oh, that is so nice. That's gonna be really nice too whenever we start doing some box blading. All right, let's head to the back food plot, put this out, pack it in, and the first food plot for fall is done. All right, so that went very quick. Here's the thing, it's about a 2-mile round trip to go all the way back, get my roller packer, which I was gonna hook up to this, and then come back here and pack this. As small as a plot like this is, these tractor tires do an excellent job of packing in. I can realistically run up and down this plot, packing all the seed in just a few minutes before I would ever make it back to hook up to the packer. So since I'm already here, I'm just gonna run and pack this in with the tractor tires, call it good, wait for some rain. Pretty nice. A few little seeds here and there, but it covers it very well. If you're ever on a plot like this and you don't really have no way to pack your seed, use your tires. Four-wheeler tires, tractor tires, all that stuff works. All right, so we have one completed food plot with an electric tractor of all things. All right, we got about a mile trip back, and then we'll see where the battery's at, get everything cleaned up, and talk about that. Before I cut this off, you can see we are at 38% battery. All right, so let's talk about that. We started with 79% battery a couple of days ago when I started doing this planning. And I did a little bit of off-camera use with the tractor, putting around, doing some recording. So I've killed a few percent there. So we've used less than 40% battery to do a few miles of traveling, running a tiller, and spreading seed, and then a bunch of driving back and forth and packing in. I don't guess that's too terribly bad. That's kind of how I envision electric tractor being used. It's not for all day work. It's not for busting out big food plots and big gardens and things such as that. It's for a couple hours of use here, charge it up, a few hours of use there. Curious to hear y'all's thoughts on that. Regardless, I had to plant a food plot. It's a tool. I used it to do that. We're going to make another food plot video coming up over the next few days. Since I already have a fertilizer spreader hooked up to this one, well, we'll just use it to spread the seed. And I'm gonna go put the tiller on the diesel 24 horse, and I'm really curious to see the difference between electric and diesel for running that. My gut says the diesel is gonna be a little stronger, but I really don't know until I test all that out. So while I have this equipment here, we're gonna have fun with it and we're gonna play with it. Oh yeah, by the way, there it is in the background. All right, fall's here. Wintertime's gonna be here before you know it. All of our hunting seasons, this is what such a popular use for tractors like this is for, especially in my area, putting in food plots. We got a lot more of that content coming. We'll catch you on the next video.